Hi everyone and welcome back to the Lights Out podcast. In this episode we will be discussing the different sessions of the Grand Prix weekend from the Monaco Grand Prix and analysing the race as it unfolds. So, starting with free practice, Ferrari looked the strongest on track, with Lewis Hamilton and Charles Leclerc alternating between first and second place, with Antonelli and Verstappen close behind. When asked about being the favourites on track, Leclerc responded, "If there's a track where I would bet on us, it's Monaco." Yet, he still cautiously labelled Mercedes as the team to beat. As for Hamilton, he insisted, "I'm not listening to any of the hype. There are no certainties in F1. We are just trying to take the learnings from each weekend and try to move forward." FP2 would go on in the same manner, with both Ferraris knocking out the front row. Lewis Hamilton seemed pleased with the car after a 2025 campaign that he described as miserable, stating, "We're working really well together. I've got the right engineers that I need now. I feel like I've obviously had input in this year's car and it's moving in the direction that I particularly like. These things take time, but we've still got a lot of work going forward. It's not a given that we're going to be competitive everywhere we go." It would therefore come as a bit of a shock when it would be Kimi Antonelli who would top the charts for FP3. It was a massive statement of redemption for the young Italian after a miserable 2025 outing on these very streets of Monte Carlo. Come qualifying, it was truly anyone's game. Ferrari, Mercedes, specifically Antonelli, as Russell seemed to be struggling to find pace in his monoplace and was losing time in many corners. And Red Bull. Hell, even McLaren couldn't be taken out of contention. As we all know, Monaco is all about qualifying, so whoever clinched that pole position trophy had a very good chance of giving it a friend as the race trophy. Jumping straight into Q3, with track evolution at its absolute peak, a new leading lap time was being set time and again by a rotating set of different drivers, keeping the entire paddock on the edge of their seats. Throughout the frantic session, it truly looked like anyone's game to claim the most coveted pole position. Charles Leclerc looked immensely strong on his home turf all weekend, Lewis Hamilton had consistently topped the timesheets session in and session out, and Max Verstappen had suddenly come alive just when it mattered most in qualifying. But amid the pressure of the ultimate shootout, Kimi Antonelli showed absolutely amazing form, while his Mercedes teammate George Russell continued to struggle to extract that elusive extra bit of pace from his monoplace. The young Italian driver delivered where it counted most. Lo and behold, it was Antonelli who pulled off the ultimate masterclass, bringing home a spectacular pole position with a stellar lap and a rock-solid performance under immense pressure. It now came down to maintaining that position and taking home his first Monaco trophy and carving his name on the streets of the principality. The drama began before the field even cleared Sanderote. At lights out, Max Verstappen's Red Bull suffered a catastrophic loss of power, stalling on the grid and forcing a brutal lap 1 DNF. Free from the mirrors of a reigning world champion, Kimi Antonelli put his head down, immediately gapping the field and controlling the pace from the front with veteran composure. Behind the leader, Isaac Hadjar was fighting his own machinery in a radio symphony of pure frustration. "No rear, no front, nothing. The engine braking is a joke. Something is about to explode." The response from the pit wall? A clinical, sobering, "Currently, there is no fix." Despite a dying car, Hadjar went into absolute gladiator mode. He fiercely defended against the relentless George Russell until Mercedes used a strategic undercut on lap 26 to snatch track position. Yet, Hadjar's grit paid off. Through sheer willpower, he crossed the line to claim a monumental P3 finish. Meanwhile, McLaren's Lando Norris wasn't as fortunate. While hunting down Pierre Gasly for P5, power unit issues forced the Brit into an early, heartbreaking retirement. As for Williams, with a rare double points finish within arm's reach, they pulled off a masterclass in teamwork. Recognizing that Carlos Sainz was breathing down Alex Albon's neck without having pitted, the pit wall ordered a driver swap. Albon was instructed to anchor the midfield, deliberately backing up the pack to engineer a pit window cushion for his teammate. As the race entered its final stint, Monaco did what Monaco does best. It bit back. Lance Stroll clipped the wall at the final corner, falling victim to brake issues and track debris, triggering a safety car. History repeated itself almost immediately on the restart, where Charles Leclerc suffered the exact same fate, burying his Ferrari in the barriers at the final corner. The resulting debris field brought out a second safety car, which rapidly escalated into a full red flag, halting the session and setting up a high-stakes sprint to the finish. If this race is remembered for anything besides the winner, it will be the absolute administrative chaos. The stewards were working overtime, handing out penalties like confetti. With 7 or 8 drivers compromised with infractions, commentators aptly noted the race had more penalties than a Champions League match. But when the lights went out for the final restart, Antonelli proved why he is the sport's most anticipated prodigy. The Italian executed a flawless launch, breaking the DRS threat instantly and cruising across the line to take the checkered flag. Not only is this his maiden victory in the Principality, but it marks an astonishing fifth consecutive win of the season. Andrea Kimi Antonelli is no longer just a rookie on a hot streak. He is a generational talent who remains utterly unflappable when the world collapses around him. The masterclass is officially in session.